Yeah, thank you, Adam, for waking up. So, welcome everybody. It's been a while since we've been together, and we've had a lot going on. The first thing I would like to mention is the passing of Billy Packer. I mean, that's a change in all of our lives, and he was such an icon. And our thoughts and prayers go out to the Packer family, and especially Mark, who we work with a lot. And people that change your lives as announcers are really special to us, and we all remember some of the games he called and some of the things he said, and so he will truly be missed. And every time I see Mark and talk to Mark, I think about his dad, because I was kind of raised on him when I was here before. So really, Mark and family, thoughts and prayers are for you, and your dad was so important to all of us, and we will miss him. I know you will too, but we sure will. Recruiting in January is fun. We're through with the 23 class. We're out looking at the 24 and 25 class, and you can't sit and talk to them when you're out in the schools, but you can have a casual greeting, which means you can shake hands and say hello in the hallway and move on. But it's great to see high school coaches. We don't get to do that much anymore, and I actually had a high school clinic with Eastern North Carolina coaches the other night, and that was so much fun, get and sit and visit with them, because those are things we missed during COVID, and as head coaches you don't get to do a lot. So but recruiting's going really well. We're excited about the opportunities. We know more about the transfer portal and how to handle it than we did 2 years ago. It changes. We're all navigating new waters. We know more about recruiting with NIL than we did 2 years ago. So I do think things are settling down some, and we're getting a better feel of who we are, where we fit in the new world of recruiting and transfer portal and NIL. And that helps us and makes us much more comfortable as we're going forward. Got some great news today that Ed Montelis came to see me, and he wants to come back and play. So good for Ed. And he decided that I said, why? And he said, I miss it. I miss my guys. I miss the workouts. I miss every day. He said, it's who I am, and I talked to my family about it. So Ed will be participating in spring practice. He'll have an operation on a wrist to clean it up a little bit. So he'll be out at spring practice, but he'll be going through drills and will not be full contact. But that means we'll have 4 of our 5 starters back from the offensive line, which is great news for us. We only played 5 guys basically last year, so we always talk about being too deep. We're going to lose all 5 of those guys next year, so we've got to be too deep. We have got to start playing younger players and get more guys ready to play at that position. The ACC schedule comes out tonight. We've already got one of the toughest schedules in our school history when you open up with South Carolina and Charlotte, and we got App State, which we know how tough that game is for us, coming in here the second week. Then we've got Minnesota the third week, and that out-of-conference schedule will be tough as any in the country. And then you start, when you see the ACC schedule tonight, you'll see they didn't do us any favors. It's really, really difficult. We start tough, and we finish with an unbelievably tough schedule. So I'm disappointed. I told them I didn't like it, didn't think it was fair, but it is what it is, but that's what we got. So you'll see what I'm talking about tonight. It won't take long for you to figure it out. So be sure and tune in and get it. I've already seen it, and I addressed the staff with it, and I haven't been able to tell the team. I'll send it to them right before you guys get it for tonight's meeting. But I was disappointed. I didn't think it was fair to our team the way it was scheduled. We started looking at changes after our 2 offensive coaches left. And what you do in your 5th year, you start addressing changes when somebody leaves. What needs to be fixed? And we were better last year with fewer tackles for loss on offense. We were better with fewer sacks. We were better with red zone touchdowns. We still weren't good enough. And so what I needed to address is somebody who was familiar with our offense. And I talked to a number of offensive coordinators across the country, and Chip Lindsey was the one that has run this offense. He's run this passing game. But he and Gus Malzahn did a tremendous job with the running game. And they had fewer sacks, and they had fewer tackles for loss. So I felt like that fit. And then he is very close to Randy Clements. And Randy is one of the best teachers as an offensive line coach. And the offenses that he's had were really good at running the ball. And the running game's the best friend of the quarterback. So I thought those guys fit because what they did is they answered questions that we have that we've got to get fixed. And I thought we did a better job of that last year. We still didn't do a good enough job to get where we need to go. One of the reasons we lost to Georgia Tech, we had 6 sacks. And you can't have that. It's just ridiculous. So, and the other thing is, as Drake and I talked about, he wanted somebody to really help him with all the fundamentals, the footwork and throwing motion. And Chip's got 2 guys in the NFL. So that really worked well for us. When we started looking at defense, Dre and I had a great conversation, I don't know, a month ago now probably, and he and I both talked about all the wonderful things he's done for this place. He's like a son to Sally and I, and he's an icon. He's one of the best players that's ever played at our school. He has 13 interceptions, and he's in the Hall of Fame, and he helped us so much in recruiting. He helped us get hype here when we were so down 4 years ago. And he hadn't coached before. And I threw him into a tough world of coaching that he hadn't been in before. So what he and I talked about is he's ready to branch out, and he really would like to try his hand at the NFL. And he's got a world in the NFL. He's one of the best to ever play there, too. He'll end up being in the Hall of Fame. So that's where he really wanted to branch out and look at other things. And he said he's a lot further along now than he was 4 years ago. He's got 4 wonderful years of coaching and experience under his belt. I talked to him this morning. We've talked a lot. We've had great conversations. He's still one of my favorites and will be, and will be a young man that I love and mentor the rest of my life. With that being said, then you've got to figure out, again, what do you do to fix what you got wrong? And we've got to have better communication in the secondary. We've got to make more plays in the secondary. We got to play the ball better in the secondary. We've got to make more tackles in the secondary. So I asked Gene and Charlton to give me a group of names that they would like to talk to. And they had 11 people. And they vetted 11 people, and they got it down to 3. And of those 3, the one that came out on top, because I was able to, and this is the only one I talked to because he was exactly what we wanted, and it fit perfect for us, and that was Jason Jones. I've always heard of Jason. He worked with Sparky at Alabama. He played at Alabama. He obviously worked with Charlton at Indiana. So they had some continuity. He will know some of the terminology that we're using now, so it'll be an easy transition for him. He will be coaching safeties, and Charlton will be coaching corners, and they've done that. They've worked together in that area before. And you start looking at Jason, he's got 20 years of coaching experience, 6 years as a defensive coordinator, so he gets it. He understands calling defenses. He understands adjustments. And he can have a lot of input, especially since he and Charlton have been together in the same defense. He produced 20 defensive backs that have played in the NFL. Every young corner in recruiting and on our team wants to play in the NFL. So that helps, that he has produced guys and put them in that position. And he's mentored 20 all-conference selections, including 9 first-team picks. And he's helped his team win 5 conference championships, and he's been to 14 bowl games. So he has a world of experience in really good programs, and especially in the SEC, the Big 12, and the Big 10. So he gets it. He's been in big ball games. His wife, Keisha, is from Chapel Hill, so he spent a lot of time in Chapel Hill. She went to Chapel Hill High School. I didn't know it. She was a cheerleader with my daughter, Catherine, in the small world of things. In fact, Catherine sent pictures of Keisha at our house with sleepovers, and they won the state championship, and I didn't know any of this until we had already hired Jason. So she's excited about coming back, and since he came back, he gets to stay married. And I've had trouble finding him because all the aunts and the uncles and the cousins and the nephews and the nieces have been trying to get him to come and dinner and come watch him play basketball and all of that. So this is perfect for us.
Mack,
So
you said he's coaching safeties. Did you mean corners?
excuse me. Yes, if I said it that way. Yes, I'm sorry. Charlton will be coaching safeties and Jason will be coaching corners. I'm sorry. I said that backwards. But definitely Jason will be coaching corners and Charlton will be coaching safeties. And that's what they've done in the past. So at that time, Jason, come on up and I'll let you get to know our guys.